Welcome everybody to the Give It Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. We are your hosts, the most Black Spartan, Showa Guy Joe, Tafari TV. Fellas, it is officially the weekend. How we feeling?
Welcome to Pisces season, pal.
Pisces season it is, especially with me and Obi's birth month coming up in March. So, shoot, I turn 40-ish and the boy turns 2. But 30. Joe, how you feeling? Oh, I forgot Tafari, you're a March baby too.
2 days.
So, yeah, I was about to say, you're a March baby. Joe, how you feeling?
I made a lot of money, I had to spend a lot of money. So, I broke even.
Damn.
Hey, I know the pain. I'm officially car debt free, but Lord, is it a hoop to jump through?
Well, I did rent the first time, and Tafari, you're like super low.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Move your mic down.
It is. Wait, is it coming through here? It's supposed to be coming through this thing.
No, you're good. I can hear you. That whatever you're doing just now, that worked.
Hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, it says it's coming through the blue snowball microphone.
Yeah.
Did hitting
you're
it
good.
work?
Yeah, I can barely hear him.
Is it really this thing?
I guess not.
No,
is it better now or is it worse?
No, it's fine for me because I can hear you clear. So it's you're definitely good on my end. See, this is a wonderful thing about Talk Studio, guys. We switch to a new format and nothing works. But bear with us, we're gonna get this worked out. But anyway, guys, as you can see, we are a little bit older, which means that we do try to watch our language, but let's be honest, words fly. We do show a lot of movie trailers and video game trailers on this show, guys, but again, sometimes some of these trailers can be a little too graphic for younger viewers, so you've been warned. Outside of that, welcome. So, how do we start this off, guys? Well, we do have a few trailers because we need to have some good news, especially after the way the world is. So how about some Tekken 8? And no, it's not and if you think the good news is we're finally getting a Waffle House stage, we're not. According to Mr. Harada, although I don't know, he might have changed his mind. We don't know yet, but for right now, it's a solid no. But what we do have is another character being added to the roster, Anna Williams herself. And if you haven't seen the trailer, here it is.
I'm only interested in my inferior half. This won't take long.
Get ready for the next battle. Tekken 8. New challenger.
Lovely Tom's craving for a good time.
Anna Williams. Expression.
Nie mogłam się doczekać. Zaczynajmy!
I hear you're quite the gourmet. How about a pre-meal workout? I'd love for you to taste my cooking sometime. I'm going to make you pay.
Feelings mutual. I love that we're so close, little sis.
Well done. are yours. Serves you right. Time to say goodbye. Once and for all. You're done now, you dirty rat.
All right, guys, and that was the trailer for Anna Williams' gameplay. As you can see, she will be one of the new characters in Season 2. If you get early access, it'll be the end of March, but for everybody else, it'll be April 3rd of this year. So, fellas from the Tekken side of the world, are we not surprised that Anna still has rocket launchers, or does this make you want to play her just out of spite against Nina Williams?
I was going to say, that's a lot of gunplay for a Tekken character.
It really is. Although, the disrespect of getting slapped by a rocket launcher before she fires, that's just, I just feel some type of way about that. But, Joe, what do you think? You're muted, Joe.
Typical Anna stuff. We just get old Tom, but we have a lot of characters in Tekken 8 using weapons now, in addition to punches and kicks, so this isn't new. It just adds a bit more reach to Anna and a bit more combo enders, I guess, now.
Yeah. Although I do gotta give it to her. They did the combo system is still working for her. Although I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't the biggest Anna fan. I'm gonna take some people off. I was Eddie Gordo and I was Jin Kazama. Those were my two mains. But you know what, I did play with her from time to time. She just wasn't my cup of tea as far as the type of fighter that she is. But for all those that are wanting her, you definitely will get her very soon. Outside of that, we do have DareDevil. Again, DareDevil March 1st. March the 4th is not too far off, guys. Matter of fact, that is Tuesday of next week. So, again, this was the DareDevil Born Again is Disney/Marvel's.
My name is Matt.
Quiet, you. Disney/Marvel's biggest. Well, let's just be honest. This is the one they put all their marbles in. Before we play this last trailer before the premiere next week, guys, any thoughts before we play it?
I like the rollout. They're giving us like small 60-second teas. This is like I think one of their longest official Disney House MCU shows. So
yeah, this is the one. This show has the longest. This has the longest order of episodes so far. And like I said,
feel like
this
they're giving us a lot, and we still haven't seen anything yet. So I'm excited.
True. Joe, what about you?
I'm sorry, what?
No, I said anything you want to add before we play the trailer for Daredevil?
No, I mean, I'm just waiting for it to come out.
Aren't we all? Ain't that the truth? Because for this to be the most anticipated one. But for all those that are wondering, this is the last trailer before next week. So again, enjoy.
My name is Matthew Murdoch.
There's no further comment at this stage.
I'm a lawyer.
That's all for now. Thank you.
Exactly what kind of a lawyer are you? Really good one. Vigilantes are not heroes. Yeah. Daredevil Born Again, only on Disney Plus. Short, sweet, and to the point. Like Tafara said, they're not giving us a lot outside of what we already know. This is going to follow the well, let's be honest, it is following the Devil's Reign, where Fisk is mayor, outlawing vigilantism, along with actually introducing his own squad. We do see that John Bernthal's character, the Punisher, will be making a return. We do know that. We also know of another Daredevil alum enemy that's going to be there as well. So I guess before we get to Tuesday, guys, anything else we can add to that we've already talked about, or is it just that we just need to just hurry up and watch?
I don't know. I'm curious to see who all is set up here that we have to follow in a movie or a show.
Mm-hmm.
Who all comes back, and what exactly is going on with Fisk? Because he has this conflicted look in every trailer, like he wants to be angry, but he can't because of like the ending of Echo. I'm also curious if we see that character. That I'm blanking on her name, but if we ever see her again.
I think we might see Echo again. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think we might see Echo again, just because of her connection to Fisk and the way that they had a kind of a moment at the end of Echo. So I think that conflict is going to come back into play. I think we are going to see her. I think we're going to see a lot of other ones come through. But yeah, I think the main thing is going to be I forgot the guy in White's name already. That's going to be he's going to be the problem, just because of the fact that he's basically Daredevil's kryptonite. The fact that I can't think of
White Tiger or
it's a certain name. I just can't think of it at the moment.
Well, the dude who's a mutant?
Yeah, well, the one that's in white that uses murder as his art form. I forgot his name.
Yeah, he's a mutant.
Muse. Thank you, Muse. That's his name. So he's going to be different just because he basically gives off nothing. So anything to Murdoch's senses, he's pretty much just invisible to it. So that's going to be an interesting fight. But outside of that, Fisk, and I'm going to go ahead and call it. I think we're going to see the Defenders somewhere in this. I think we are going to see Luke Cage. I think we are going to see Jessica Jones. I won't even be remiss to say we might even see Iron Fist. Hopefully improved. Hopefully. I stress that word, hopefully. Yes, sir.
That or they gave him no combat scenes. It's just strictly boardroom meeting stuff.
That part. But I'm just saying I'm hoping if Iron Fist is back, may he be given proper training. There's plenty of martial arts masters out there. That's all I'm saying. But again, Tuesday, March 4th, we'll all be watching. I think that'll be the one time that Daredevil, for about the next considerable month and a half, it might have the gauntlet. It might actually have it all. But either way. But again, like I said, guys, not a lot really in the trailer side of the world today. Mortal Kombat, Chaos Reigns is, still rolling out what they got left, and we actually get a teaser for a second of what the T100 looks like. And I'm gonna be honest, this is kind of let me play it first before I give my thoughts.
What a waste. Megastar looks on an asshole evil robot.
What is a megastar?
Finish him.
Okay, so guys, that was the teaser trailer for the T100. That will be in Mortal Kombat 1 Chaos Reigns, along with Madame Bo cameo. That will be available on March the 18th, so a couple of weeks from now. Even though that was a teaser, guys, I'm going to be honest, it didn't really inspire me. It's like Conan the Barbarian. I didn't really get a lot from that. It felt very generic. It felt like they were kind of just hitting nostalgia, especially if you have never seen Judgment Day with the big rig and that finisher. If they're going with that, it just felt like to me. But what did you guys think?
I don't know. I think it's okay. I think at this point they need to just make a movie fighter. At this point, this is the last one, right? They scrapped it after this.
Yeah, there's no longer no support. They're abandoning it. They're abandoning Chaos Reigns after this. So yeah, it's just like I said, it just doesn't make me. It doesn't make me go, okay, if you're gonna go out with a bang, this is what you need to do. But it's almost like, okay, we're just doing this just to be done with it kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing I just get from that. It's like, okay, you had all these. I mean, don't get me wrong. The first time we saw the first combat pack where you saw Homelander, Omni-Man, Peacemaker. Okay, we got excited for those. Don't get me wrong. But now it's like, okay, Ghostface, Conan the Barbarian, T-1000. It's like you kind of gave up. That's what it feels like to me. It feels like he kind of was like, okay, we'll go through the motions, we'll do the high notes, the low notes, and then that's it. And I just feel like, okay, if you're giving up a Mortal Kombat 1 after Chaos Reigns, I understand it, but I mean, come on, Ed Boon and company. This is the time where it's like, if you're gonna go with a bang, give us something. But again, I digress. Joe, anything else you want to add to that?
No, not really. I mean, I know I'm not going to play it because I don't have Mortal Kombat. T-1000 doesn't really interest me. It's just Glacius again.
Yep, I can see that with a Glacius skin. I can see that.
Well, I mean, he literally has the Glacius puddle uppercut.
Yeah, I agree. No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I fully agree. It's just the whole idea of it just feels like they're not even trying anymore. But again, that's what I get from that. But let us know in the comments what you think. Like I said, it's a teaser trailer. We might get a fully developed trailer along the way to where it's quite different. But for a teaser side of things, it just doesn't scream. It doesn't scream like y'all guys actually put your touch on this. But anywho, but we can move on to Pokemon because, fellas, I believe there was a Pokemon update that happened this week. Outside of a few mobile games, anything else y'all guys want to add to that as far as what was announced?
All I saw was the game.
Joe?
What was announced?
2 mobile games.
Pokemon stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's been a whirlwind day for me today, guys.
You're good. You're good.
AZ, they got my favorite starter, so we all know who I'm going with.
Yeah.
Ember for the win on that one. Apparently, this is a sequel to which one was it? Not Black and White.
I think Arceus was the last one.
Yeah, what
Arceus? This is like a sequel to the actual mainline game.
Oh.
You lost me on that one then, because Arceus was the one I remembered.
Dang, that game came and went.
What was it?
Diamond and Pearl.
Now Zuri. What now? What?
No.
Like, you know.
It's a sequel to Pokemon X and Y. So apparently they're like renovating the city after the big giant bird of death tried to nuke the city. So they're rebuilding it or renovating it. A lot of people, and the main giveaway of the sequel is AZ has his third Pokemon that came back to him and is now running a hotel.
Okay. Oh, okay, I did see that. To where
yeah, people were like, "How? What makes you think it's a sequel?" Because his Pokemon's back. Because in the game, he was searching for that Flabébé for like the whole game. Because it was the thing that died during the war that he used the machine to resurrect, and the Pokemon never forgave him for that until it did.
All platforms join.
So that happened. Wow.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Joe.
Nintendo don't start on cease and desist and stop the whole podcast.
Nintendo said
I was about to say Nintendo heard you, Joe, and said, "We wish you would."
Sir, you need to stop spoiling the game.
Mm-hmm. Well, I guess that's a sign to play the trailer now, because Nintendo came out of nowhere and said, "We wish you would." So this was a game that they did mention during the conference. It's called Pokemon Legends Z through A.
Pokemon Legends ZA is a new title in the Pokemon series. The story takes place in Lumio City, the largest city in the Kalos region. Prism Tower stands tall at the center of this city of beautiful vistas. These days, Lumiose is undergoing a high-tech urban redevelopment plan to turn it into a city that people and Pokemon truly share. After you arrive in Lumiose City to see the sights, you'll meet 3 Pokemon, one of which will become your first partner, Chikorita, Tepig, and Totodile. You'll choose one of these Pokemon to accompany you on a new journey as you get to know Lumiose City and its inhabitants. Here are some of the colorful characters you'll encounter. When you arrive in Lumiose, you'll meet a new friend and ally, either Urbane or Tawny. The hotel where you'll be staying is run by AZ. You'll also meet his partner, Floette. Lumiose's redevelopment is being managed by Quasartico Inc. You'll become acquainted with the company's CEO Jet and her secretary Vinny. The different people you meet will make your time in Lumiose all the richer. To help people and Pokemon coexist, the city has set up wild zones. These areas, located throughout Lumiose, give wild Pokemon habitats where they can thrive. To catch one of these wild Pokemon, aim carefully, then throw a Pokeball. If you're having a hard time catching one, have one of your Pokemon use its moves to weaken the target, making it easier to catch. This game offers a style of Pokemon battling not seen in previous titles. Moves can have a longer or shorter reach, or different areas of effect. So choose your timing and positioning carefully to gain the upper hand. Lead your partner Pokemon through battles and dodge incoming attacks. Swap Pokemon if you need to and find the right moment to unleash a move. What's more, certain Pokemon can go beyond evolution by undergoing Mega Evolution. When a trainer's Keystone resonates with the Mega Stone held by their Pokemon, the Pokemon will do more than just change shape. It'll unlock a new level of power, turning the tide of battle in its favor. As Lumiose continues its transformation into a city that belongs to both people and Pokemon, who knows what kinds of encounters and experiences will await you. Pokemon Legends ZA, coming late 2025.
All right, so that, guys, was the trailer for Pokemon Legends ZA. Fellas, what we thinking? Worth going after, or is it kind of the wait and see kind of variety?
Very random on the starter selection. Probably gonna go Totodile.
Joe?
Well, we had Cyndaquil last time, so people need to get over themselves. So
I
we
like
get
what I like,
Tepig
damn
this
it.
time. What?
This is an outrage.
You get a Totodile. That's all that matters to people.
There.
I get mine. I get Tepig, meaning I get to make Mixpore. Combat looks more fun now that we're able to literally move out of the way of things.
Yeah. That's a fair point. But go ahead, Joe.
I'm just looking forward to it. I thought this was going to be a Switch 2 launch game, but I guess not.
Mm-hmm. No. Which does beg the question, what is going to be the game for Switch 2? Because if not this, and not a Mario game, which usually it is, or a Zelda game, which again, that was Breath of the Wild, but it does kind of make you wonder what game is going to be the flagship game for the Switch 2.
Luigi's Mansion 4. Plumber Pirate Paradise.
Try saying that 5 times fast.
Probably not.
It'll be a new WarioWare game.
Wario is a game that hasn't been seen since what? Wario hasn't been seen since the last Mario Party?
I think the
Wario doesn't do anything without his group now, so proper Wario game. I don't think we've had that since GameCube.
Oh, wow.
Where his big thing was doing like the spinning pile driver on stuff.
You're probably right, because now that I think about it, it has been a while since we've seen a decent Wario game. So you actually might be on. You actually may be onto something on that.
I feel like there was a WarioWare for the Wii, maybe.
Let
me see.
That's a good question.
Wario Land and WarioWare Smooth Moves. I don't know if the Wii U or Switch got any titles.
It might be on the Wii. It might have been on their channels. It may have actually been on their channels, and honestly, it's the first I've ever heard of it, but you wouldn't be wrong. But either way, I'm still waiting on Nintendo to give us another. Well, let's be honest. I'm still waiting for Star Fox, but I think that ship has sailed.
Star Fox is never coming back. Because every time Star Fox comes out, it's the same game as every other Star Fox game.
You can literally take the main three and just repackage them. I mean, you could leave Adventures out. I don't care. But the other two, you can take 64, Adventures, and Assault, because that is those three. And what was the other one? The one that was it was a DS game. It was top-down flying, and no one played it.
Tactics?
I don't know if it was Tactics. It was called something. Star Fox. Hold on. Basically, the game had like multiple endings and gave lore to all the characters. But it's Star Fox Command.
Are you talking about the 3DS one that came out, or the DS one that came out where it introduced Wolf Squad?
Yeah, Command is the one.
Star Fox Command, then. Okay.
We don't talk about Command.
Command has. But yeah, you could literally take those three and just HD fix them, or make a show.
I mean, you can do a game differently, but like I always said, Star Fox 64 to me was the best one because you had the Aqua, you had water missions, you had land missions, you had air missions. So to me, that was as good as it gets. Now, I wish I could have played Assault. I never got a chance to play Assault. But Command, I did kind of skip that because that was a kind of a tactics turn thing that I really wasn't a fan of. But I digress. But either way, like I said, another Star Fox game wouldn't actually hurt. But before we do get to our Shrek 5 and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot's, just some quick news that we just need to go ahead and go on through since we got it. First and foremost, DC is effing up. Again, the reason why we say, guys, DC is effing up because they had something that was great and in the pocket, and they kept saying it's going to happen, and it didn't happen. But really quickly, DC is closing 3 studios, and also the open world Wonder Woman game that we thought we did. Say what, Joe?
You mean WWB?
Yeah, Warner Bros. WB. Well, that too, but Warner Bros. Game Studios. So we do, like I said before, the Wonder Woman game that we saw back at the Game Awards on 2021. We thought it looked great. We were hype about it just because it was different. And now we are being told that Warner Brothers has canceled it along with the 3 studios, Monolith Productions, Player First Games, and Warner Brothers San Diego. They try to say the excuse was the project faced troubled development with little updates over the years. Now, here's my thing, and I'm going to say this very clearly. You could not have had that many doggone problems. I mean, if we could have, let me start this way. If we could have Marvel's Avengers on the PS4 and Xbox, and for lack of better words, it was fine. Although updates and skins and other things kind of made it run horribly, but it still got out. We had Marvel Spider-Man and Marvel Spider-Man 2, both critically acclaimed games that people still play. Both of those came out. We've had how many Batman Arkham Knight games in the span that this was announced? And on top of that, they squeezed out a VR Arkham Shadow. And in the midst of all this, you're going to sit there and tell me that a Wonder Woman game wasn't possible because the project faced development issues. Where? See, that's the thing I can't stand, because I was one of the ones that was looking forward to playing Wonder Woman. That it was an Amazon, it was different, it was going to be open world. It was going to actually be fun. And now, because Warner Brothers, and we can't blame Zaslav as much as we want to, this is not him. This is not him. Like we reported, the guy that was running the Warner Brothers games division, he was stepping down, which meant that everything attached to him was probably going to be gone as well. But fellas, even though, and this kind of bleeds into the next story that I got, but the news of this, does it make us feel like Warner Brothers just can't get right until they're finally, dust?
Do y'all need some money? In the words of Lucius Fox, do you need some money?
I'm starting to wonder about that. I really am, because go ahead, Tar.
I don't get it. Like, and here's the thing. From what I'm hearing and what I've seen, Arkham Shadow's story is apparently really good. It's just trapped on a console nobody's buying in bulk, to the point where, like a month after it dropped, they were bundling it with the game?
Yeah.
My friend called me on Christmas because she's like, I don't know anything about these Batman games, but it came with my kids' Meta Quest. Like, explain this to me. I'm like, well, it takes place before anything I've played, so have fun. And and then y'all, we told you, is it because your Suicide Squad game failed after we told you not to make it? And then you logged, you took, what was it, Multiverses, and said, hey, we're just gonna, like, I think your beta technically won a game award, and then you just threw it in the vault that X-Men 97 is trapped in.
Pretty much.
And just left it there and then brought it out. Like, that game doesn't deserve to get just scrapped the way it is. And apparently there's like dozens of characters that team wanted to put in the game, and they just were brought to a screeching halt, which is probably the first red flag that their jobs were in danger.
And that's the part, and that's what I'm saying, that's the part that I've never understood, is how in the world can you have this much hype behind it? And it's like, and me and Joe said this. Me and Joe said this during the Game Awards, then the following year, Summer of Games. It's like, we only heard one instance of this Wonder Woman game, and then it's just been crickets ever since. And that did make us worry, because usually there should be some updates. It's in progress. We have a development. It's in a beta form. You don't get anything. So that kind of signaled like, okay, there is a problem. But there really isn't. It's just like what is it? Now, I'm going to throw this question out there before we move on to the other part of the news that I have on this. Why is it that independent labels, even some companies under Marvel, can do what Warner Brothers cannot figure out how to do themselves? And I mean, I can't say it's not money, because there's plenty of money out there with all the stuff they've cut. But what could have been the problem outside of just zero support? Because that's the only thing in my mind. If there's no support behind the game, very rarely does the game actually get made. Very rarely does the game actually get made to publication and selling. So is the fact that, they just didn't really have a lot of faith in the game, or they just wanted to kill it from the beginning?
What you got, Joe?
Oh, I actually have to answer this.
Or anybody. I'm throwing it out there to the wind.
Well, I mean, this falls at the feet of David Haddad, who is the head of WB Games. The past decade, he's made poor choices, chose to dive into live service games when that fad has already come and gone, and no one wants to see a battle pass anymore. He made what was a noble idea with Kill the Justice League, and made everybody the same character despite everybody having their own power sets. I don't understand why Captain Boomerang has an AK-47 when his gimmick is in his name, but we won't get there. You're going to have a hard time competing with Smash no matter how good the game is. I mean, even Nickelodeon All-Stars only got so far with 2, but like I said, it's hard to compete with Smash. Mortal Kombat did not do as well as it should have.
True.
They got their DLC canceled because of lackluster sales from Chaos Reigns, which was mid.
Mm-hmm.
They're paying high prices for celebrity lookalikes and celebrity voicing. Honestly, Conan turned out much better than a lot of people thought it would. I don't doubt T1000 will be fun, but too many people are going to have that Glacius correlation and just see how many combos it has.
Mm-hmm.
It's just poor decision after poor decision of output, and Wonder Woman was supposed to be using Monolith Soft's Nemesis system from the Shadow of Mordor thing. I don't know how that was going to play out if the game is only on Themyscira.
Right.
I don't think it was going and hunting down Amazons.
Enemy factions
Like
living
it's
on
the
the
competition
island.
of the Amazons.
Right.
Hunt down enemy trader faction. Cersei has a team, maybe.
Well, that would have been perfect because there are other tribes of the Amazons that could have been
We don't
introduced.
know when this is set, though. That's the problem.
And it wasn't like the gaming industry as a whole pissed because when Shadow of Mordor came out, they like patented that whole boss system.
Yeah.
Yes.
They haven't used it since, and now no one can touch it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's asinine.
But
They also made Sheila into a sexy woman, and no one liked that either.
Right. But it just goes to show you though, that Wonder Woman game had plenty of potential, which is why I said the next part about the story, because even though they have scrapped the game, I believe there's only one man that could probably save that game in that studio, and that's James Gunn, who has already sat there and said that he would be open to a Marvel's Rivals-like game with DC characters, which the close thing that we do have to Rivals is Injustice outside of Multiverses, which we know that's kind of sunsetting at the moment. But with Injustice, which was probably Warner Brothers' best example of a fighting game with DC characters, I guess. But Gunn could possibly save Wonder Woman if he chooses. But I throw this question out. Should he save this already sinking ship, or should it be scrapped and try again?
I think they should at least take notes from him, because depending on how Superman does, which we know it's going to do well, even if it's a bad movie, which I don't think it will be, people are going to at least go see it because this is a hard reset following Blue Beetle. They could at least take notes of what people liked about the game and try to do something. Even the Flash, the Adobe Flash fighters on CartoonNetwork.com used to do good. So I don't know what they can do. They need to do something that isn't what we asked for, or not what we asked for, because Multiverses should be fine. Arkham Shadow is still getting support. Thankfully, it's found its base.
Yeah.
If they are doing a Batman Beyond game, you better hurry the hell up. I don't know what's going on. At this point, it's a game of, is it going to turn up a profit, or is it a tax write-off? That's the new game.
Fair point. Joe?
Honestly, I'd say wait and see what it gives us. The Nemesis system sounds cool, but may not be the thing for Wonder Woman. We just don't know what's coming down the line. We need to see what the new Wonder Woman's going to be like first before putting a game out. Because remember, the way James Gunn wants this is whoever is cast as that character is that character in all forms of media.
Yeah.
True.
So we need to see who Wonder Woman is before we start thinking about saving the game. Because that Wonder Woman may not correlate with what the game was.
Sure. Can't argue that. I just hope that of all this we do eventually get a Wonder Woman game. But hey, I also hope the Batgirl movie ever gets released from whatever vault it possibly is in. But we will see.
I like Coyote versus Acme more than I do Batwoman.
And look, I will take both. All I need is somebody just to step away from the vault for 5 minutes. That's all I freaking need. But some other two pieces of news before we get to the rest of our trailers. Keanu Reeves outside the fact of saying that Never Say Never to another John Wick movie, has announced that he is working along with the original writer of Constantine, that they are working on a script for Constantine 2 after basically getting a green light after a pitch to DC Studios. Now, again, it has been quite a while since the first Constantine movie. Of course, Keanu Reeves playing the infamous Hellblazer himself. I do have to ask this question because even though I still say Constantine was a great movie, no disrespect to Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan killed it as Constantine, even on his...
Constantine.
Say what?
Said Matt Ryan is...
Fair. I mean, he did kill it on the NBC show before NBC decided to cancel it, a little too early in my opinion. And he also did great on DC Legends of Tomorrow. Now, my question being to you guys, because they are writing the script for Constantine 2, even though I think it's been well over, I think I want to say at least 10, 15, maybe 20 years. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but I know it's been over 10 years. Would people watch a sequel to the original Constantine, or is it just too far, too gone, or should it just have Matt Ryan do it?
I think you could do, especially because like in the animated movies, it's technically the same Constantine in like all 14 universes. So I think you could take Constantine and make him our anchor. You could literally say like catastrophic or just magic shenanigans. He keeps ended up in like the same alternate versions of the same world, and he's been through what, the Dark Knight. He's been through the Snyderverse. He's here now. I feel like Constantine was received poorly, but I feel like with age, I feel like everyone's come to appreciate that film.
Fair. Joe? What was that look? That was a...
I choose not to believe any rumors until James Gunn comes out and says yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know he will say yes or no.
True. He will.
So that's why I'm just like, let's wait till he says something.
No, there's nothing wrong waiting on that. I'm gonna be honest, just add my 2 cents. I would watch it just because, again, the first Constantine wasn't bad. I mean, I thought they did a very well done approach to it. I would love to see a sequel, but I would also love to see Matt Ryan somewhere in it. I would love to see Matt Ryan and Keanu Reeves look at each other and be like, "You seem familiar," or give me something that lets me know that you acknowledge both sides of the coin here.
According to the comics, Matt Ryan is Constantine, and there's only one Constantine across the multiverse that doesn't look like him, and it's Keanu Reeves. Like everybody all across the multiverse, it's Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you're wrong.
Which I think is hilarious. It's only those two.
But that's what makes me think that, okay, if you're going to pay some homage to it, I mean, like I said, Matt Ryan, he kills it. Keanu, when he was doing it, I thought he killed it too. That's why I was like, it would make an acknowledgement that you're acknowledging both worlds that are existing. But again, like Joe said, it is smart to wait for the head honcho himself to give a word, but he's kind of busy on Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, along with the Lanterns, along with a possible Teen Titans movie. He's got his hands full. But again, hey, it doesn't hurt to reach out to James Gunn and see if he says yes or no. I'm planning to do that after this. But the last piece of news, guys, before we get to our trailers, Moon Knight. For all those that are wondering, or you have every time I wake up, stick it in your head. A Marvel exec has said that Moon Knight will return to the MCU in some form, but it's highly unlikely that Moon Knight will get a season 2. They're saying that the comment they were given. So I think Marvel Television has happened in waves. I think Moon Knight happened in a wave of shows that were going to establish characters that would tie into the future. Moving forward, our priorities have shifted. We're making shows that can exist as annual releases, more like television. I would love to see a Moon Knight season 2, but there are plans for Moon Knight down the road. Now, of course, that's directly from a Marvel executive. I just have to ask this question. Is it a mistake that Moon Knight's not getting the season 2 in the traditional show format, or is it better that Moon Knight just appears annually in different other heroes and different other hero shows and specials?
At this point, I don't need everyone to have solo projects. Just if it's gonna be a gap between their next whatever or solo thing or Marvel movie appearance, just it's called the MCU for a reason. Use the letter U. Just again, I say this like Phase 4. Sprinkle them everywhere like you did Wong for no reason whatsoever. None of us complained. It was hilarious when he showed up. Because we get it. He could just sling ring to anywhere he wants. Just do that for anywhere else. I feel like there's enough between Agatha and whatever is going on with Wanda. There's enough to where Blade and Moon Knight could make a few background appearances or offer small guidance to whoever. You could even use that to set up a Midnight Suns run TV special. I mean, y'all did Werewolf by Night, and we still don't get what the hell that was. So, or where that ties in.
That'd be hilarious because he could just pop in, and we don't know if he's Mark Jake or Steven.
Right.
You could
or actually, no, we would from the way they dress, but it would just be
right.
Him in the background walking by, and he's got a mustache like there's Jake.
Yeah.
Or like a limo pops by and rolls down. It's him looking very, very Bruce Wayne like. It's like, oh, he just rolled by Steven.
Yep. See, I can see that too. So that's what makes me wonder.
Oh, it's Miguel.
But it does make me wonder that it does make sense because at first I was like, I did enjoy the television series. I did enjoy the 6 episodes that we got, but it does make sense. Does it, to have them appear in other areas, so to speak, or annually? Because unfortunately, Moon Knight was a part of we're going to throw everything. We're going to throw as much content, but not quality behind it. Not say that Moon Knight season 1 wasn't quality. It heavily was. But it was also looped in with a whole lot of other things that people really didn't like. So I get the whole idea of not immediately saying, well, it's not like we're not getting rid of Moon Knight. It's just the fact that we're just having him applied in different areas, which makes sense. But
also, if they wanted to adapt the current Moon Knight, that would be very, to quote Mr. Dink, very expensive.
Yeah, but it would be interesting. I will say that. I will say that for the most part, it definitely would be interesting. But Tafara, anything else you want to add to
that? No, I'm okay if it doesn't get a season 2. I just, with all the stuff happening on ground level, surface level Marvel, as far as like these Armor Wars and whatever we get out of, because I'm so curious to how Ironheart leads us to a potential Mephisto intermingling. So. Again, cameos are still good. They don't have to be end credits either. Just give us like a few minutes of what they've been up to and what we can expect.
Oh, they did find Wanda, by the way. She's in the new issue of TVA 3.
That was still crazy. Now you showed that picture. I'm like, so that's where she's been all this time. But we will definitely get into that once that issue appears. But we do have a couple more trailers, guys, before we get to our episode reviews. But nobody saw Shrek 5 coming, but I'm going to be honest, there's a little bit of a problem with Donkey, and I'm not sure if this is a Sonic situation or it's an aging situation. If you have not seen the teaser trailer, you're about to find out.
Hey, Magic Mirror, who's the fairest of them all? Why, Shrek, of course.
Ew, Dad!
Ooh, Mommy like.
Who's making this stuff?
Not me!
Whoa! Shrek 5, starring Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, Cameron Diaz, and Zendaya? Oh, damn. Only in theaters, Christmas 2026.
Okay, there's a reason why I'm stopping it here, because a lot of people, outside of the fact that Shrek 5 is coming out, and that's great, and that's nice, but a lot of people have a problem with the way Donkey looks, Eddie Murphy's character, to the point to where they're thinking of doing the same thing they did with the first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, to where they basically bullied the studio into sinking more money in and drawing Sonic right. Now, I'm throwing this out there. Is this a Sonic situation to where we all should band together and say Donkey deserves better, or are we trying to say that Donkey has actually aged?
Donkey has aged because every movie moves the timeline forward.
Right.
So if this, taking into account that there are like supposed to be 5 Shrek kids, if they've all gone and Zendaya's the last baby to leave the house, then technically, no, Donkey's old as hell by now.
Mm-hmm. My thoughts exactly. Tafara?
On top of the fact that I guess the models were the same, but the animation was different for the last 2 Puss in Boots movies and the show. So, and even in those, he mentions he's basically been away from far away for a long time. And at the end of the last movie, it shows them going back to the kingdom, which is like a teaser for Shrek 5. So, and I get it. I didn't think anything was wrong, and I didn't notice it was an issue till people said something. Somebody said Donkey looks like Kai Cenat. There was...
Damn.
Yeah, I think I don't think it's a big deal, or it could be a bait and switch. They could be doing this on purpose and going back to the old models, because clearly they understand the memes. They have them on the little scroller, and his old face model is, even Shrek's old face model is on the magic mirror. So I think Fiona has, I think, crow's feet if you look close enough. So it's not going to deter me from seeing the film, but I do see everyone saying, like, can we pull a Sonic and get this fixed? And as a Sonic fan, Godspeed on your endeavor. I can't guarantee this always works.
Nope, I can see that. Joe?
I said he just looks older. He's older because he's more into the future.
And honestly, I'm okay with that, considering the fact that he had kids of himself with a dragon. So, of course, it's going to be different, which I'm surprised that well, it's a teaser. I'm pretty sure those kids are going to show up. But as you see, guys, Shrek 5 is coming out. Will be available this Christmas. We'll probably see more trailers as it comes out. But the last trailer that we do got, guys, actually ties in with our Dragon Ball Daima final episode and series. Fellas, I'm going to leave this up to you. Do y'all guys want to talk about what happened in the last episode first, or should we play the trailer for the DLC?
We can save the episode for after the DLC. At this point, rest in peace, fighters. I think they just forgot about you.
Yeah, they really did.
Because they've said Xenoverse is ending like 18 times, and they keep making DLCs for it. But
Xenoverse will never end.
There's never going to be I'm okay with that. Like, same thing with Destiny. They're just going to keep stacking on top of the original game. But Kakarot, I think, is what people have wanted for a long time. It's like Budokai 3, but they just keep adding steroids to it. So now they're going to add a whole separate realm. I'm fine with it.
I'm okay with it too, but it just, like I said, it depends on what's actually going on, especially with that. But
I mean, I know where DLC Volume 1 ends. That's the most obvious thing.
True. Which, again, if you have not seen the trailer, the DLC trailer for Dragon Ball Z's Kakarot, it does go through the Demon Realm. But let's play the trailer first before we get to our episode review.
やはり魔界は広いですね。そりゃそうさ。第三魔界は魔界の中で一番でかいんだよ。
よし、早速出発する。
ご機嫌ですね、パンジさん。こうして旅に出られるのは最高の気分だよ。
あまりはしゃぐな。遊びに行くんじゃないんだぞ。
暗いよな、ブロリオは。ヒヒ、そろそろ出てきやがったな。まとめてかかってこい。悟空さんはここでも相変わらずですね。ああ、逃がしません。
一気に行くぞ、悟空。
大丈夫か？直してあげるよ。キュー感じ。ハメハメハー。全く知らない土地だから何が起こるかワクワクするな。
あんたと俺、そんなに力の差がある。
悟空もすごいけど、グルリオもすごいじゃん。やるなゴリラ。ほら楽しくなってきた。
思った以上に長い旅になりそうだ。
よし、行くか。はい。じゃあ行こう。大冒険の始まりだ。
All right, guys, and as you can see, that was the trailer for part 1 of the Diamond Edition DLC, Adventure Through the Demon Realm for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which kind of leads into, well, the last review that we have for Diamond, since it did wrap up this week with episode 20. I'm going to go around the bend here, fellas. What do we think of the last episode?
They were very much on some, hey, gave you everything you asked for. Figure out the lore for yourself. Okay, bye.
Pretty much. They really did kind of just sit there and just let you just hang out there with it. But
said, we will let you have fun. I gave you what you want. As I leave, feel free to argue amongst yourselves for eternity.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. But Joe, what did you think?
Great way to honor him on the day of his death.
Mm-hmm.
Ending the series, same day he passed.
Mm-hmm.
The ending was probably the best part. The fight was gorgeous, but this was much better story wise than it was than the last couple episodes, where it's just been really pretty to look at, but very lacking in story. And not having a lot of unearned story elements to it, but this one was really good. I loved how it wrapped up. I love the after credit sequence, which was hilarious. We got those for sale. I sold one a long time ago. Give me a deal since they don't sell well. I love that the fusion bugs were like a total red herring.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's so mad about that. I also love that everybody that is up Gohan's butt still never got shown. Guys are going to have to get over that. No Gohan. Sorry. He's off studying in high school.
I blame Chi-Chi.
I
was saying I blame Chi-Chi, but go ahead.
I blame Videl at this point.
Yeah, true.
No, it was just really, really good. Goku saying he could have turned Super Saiyan 4 without Neva's help is kind of BS.
Again, Goku is a dick.
Well, it doesn't make any sense because he's like, oh, I've always had this. Like, no, it was clearly shown that you got a power boost from Neva. So Neva gave you this form.
He just
said, you just got used to it. You didn't ask pull it out of the room for no reason.
Yeah, I was training really hard after Boo. I'm like,
you were training so hard you can grow your tail back whenever you want?
I was hoping to see Tails come back at all or pass the energy to Vegeta so he could do it, but I blamed both their transformations on...
Now, remember, he's not Super Saiyan 3. He's Ultra Vegeta 1.
Oh, right. If they make that, because I've still played the mobile game, if they make that a playable card, I will laugh my ass off.
Oh, it's coming, Dokkan. You know it is.
I will put it this way. I sat there and said it beforehand. Goku sat there knowing that he can go Super Saiyan 4. This is how I know Goku. Goku incessantly puts people's lives in danger just to see what he can actually do. Goku is a freaking menace.
Now, he did have a Kamehameha so powerful, punch through all 3 levels of the demon world.
True.
I thought we were going to get a Dragon Fist and finally make that canon, but that never happened.
That's what I thought he was doing when the last Kamehameha. I thought we were getting a Dragon Fist. I got excited, but puncturing the hole through that, yeah.
No movie only. I thought we were finally going to get the red Kamehameha that we always get in the video game.
That would be interesting. The red
Kamehameha. The old games, they differentiate the 10 times versus the normal. The 10 times was always red.
Yeah.
I guess we get burning Kamehameha. I guess that's a thing. I'm wondering why that never happened again. But
that goes. But again, it's like, how do you have the ability? Because that's what I mean. But I can understand Vegeta. It's something, people always said they can never understand Vegeta. I can, because Goku will sit there, let you struggle, and then all of a sudden remember, oh yeah, I think I can do this, and straight into a form where even Vegeta's like, you had this the entire doggone time and could have saved herself a whole lot of trouble. I can understand why Vegeta's angry now. Because Goku holds off on stuff.
I think he could tap into it, but it wasn't until he got the power boost from Neva he could fully do it.
Yeah, I fully blame Demon Realm energy for that, because even the Super Saiyan 3 transformation, it was very much when he showed up, it was like, well, since they both like to fight so much, and then suddenly they were both able to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we actually saw Kid Vegeta constantly working out in the background during the opening of the series.
Yeah.
So I believe he was training non-stops ever since he saw Super Saiyan 3. The other thing is we need to talk about the best character in this whole series, Ku.
Yeah, coming in clutch at the very end with the book.
Man. That man earned his title. That's all I'm gonna stand and say.
And suddenly has a brain just at the end of the show. It's like the most.
No, he's always had the brain. It's Dude that's the dumb one.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, Ku even when he fights the dumb guy, he's like, "Yeah, I can't beat him, but I can run errands for you real fast. And I can remember things."
I fully was expecting someone to jokingly come up and literally just knock, 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 and just call it a day. And sure enough, that's exactly what he did with the book.
Yeah.
The thing that bothered me about that is they're in the middle of a beam energy ball beam struggle. Why did Piccolo not just jump in right then?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know either. Especially if he can stretch, you don't even need to physically be there.
Right. But
So, I mean, we got Ku, which is great, and then making everybody a minister. But everybody that he makes a minister has a good reason for being a minister.
Hey, that's the best way. That's how you open up a King's Court. He's like, everybody was here I could trust to do this. And then, of course, we see as they're imprisoning him, we see the other guy. I can't think of his name to save my life right now.
No, my favorite part was what is his name? The dude with the hat. He had the belt.
Oh, the guy who's been driving them around the whole show.
Yes.
Yeah. What is with him and all the awkward line deliveries?
No, but I love that how Ku asks, does anyone else want to be a minister? Me. Okay, no more ministers.
He made sure to get. The quota was filled. I'll give him that. But no. But you guys are right. This was a nice end. This was a nice ending to Daima. It needed to just be a one-shot run. I still hope that we get the Moro arc. I still we get the Moro arc just to wrap up Super, because I think
one of the goofiest things.
I still think we should get that arc just to wrap up Super.
Why? So you guys can start complaining about it midway through?
No, look.
There will be full-on arguments when Super Saiyan Susanoo comes out. There was already that in the manga, but I very much am here for, and please don't skip past it. I get it. It's the Saiyan Saga Forever show, but let the Earthlings have their moment. Yamcha getting his redemption, everybody get it. The fact that you couldn't just superpower your way out of this, you actually had to learn other techniques and stuff.
I think Yamcha's gonna be for the forever whipping boy. I think he will never go.
That's the thing. He wasn't for one saga. He actually got a redeeming chapter. So in a way that I always kind of hoped they would do if the Saiyans ever came back, it would probably be hey, same challenge that Raditz offered Goku, 100 bodies, or we're claiming this place. And the Z Fighters all got to fend off one territory by themselves. They pretty much made each person a general with their own squad. And that was actually pretty cool. Until Moro comes up and it's hey, superpowers are cool, but magic is still a thing. And I saw a little bit of it here in the Demon Realm, which I fully take as the excuse for everyone's power-ups. I fully believe Namekian magic is what helped. And I also like that he at least opened the door.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if any other scattered Nameks out here want to come home, we'll give them that option because we do have another one out there who's in the Granola arc.
True. I mean, I can see that too, but it just like I said, I can't. I see Joe's point. Some people are going to probably wind up complaining during that arc, but it's the last.
The moment he becomes young is just a retread of Cell Saga.
Right, and don't get me wrong, I understand it. I still want to see it because it's the last one. Like, I don't think Super should go past that. Super should wrap up as it is. We remember it. We remember it as it was. I don't think we need to continue it going. I don't think we need a tournament of power. I just think we need to wrap it up and lay it to rest.
Well, I think Moro is good. I think it should go to Granola the Survivor because if you want to go and end it with how that last chapter did with all the characters basically saying goodbye to us, Black Frieza on the horizon, Goku is somewhat getting to reconnect with his father after all these years.
Right.
Goku forgetting he has a grandchild.
Right, that part.
So,
it's like, who's Pan? Your grandchild. All right.
He said it in Daima. He's like, you're a dad? He's like, I have two. I wasn't really involved, though.
Yeah, it makes sense. But like I said, it just, to me, it super deserves an ending. I don't think it needs to continue. But we will see. It depends on what they decide to do in honor of Mr. Toriyama's memory. So
my question to you guys on this one, and this is going to be a weird question. Okay. When they showed Chi-Chi as an adult, did she still look like a teenager to you?
Yes.
A little bit. I think that's well, she is technically younger than Bulma, who is like our only other female comparison. Mm-hmm. So
well, yeah, but if Goku's in his 50s, so is Chi-Chi.
Is she?
Which always goes to say Chi-Chi's not human.
I've also forgot that they're only a few years apart, but the height difference was always so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because they were the same height almost the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Even in OG Dragon Ball, when they got married, they were roughly the same height.
And then they went through the same growth spurt leading up to the last World Tournament.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When they got married, they were roughly the same height still.
I still say Chi-Chi's not human. That's just me. Because she doesn't age.
They gave everybody like that nice shiny filter to them towards the end of the and I'm guessing Bulma lost her bugs on the way home because you wished for a BBL last movie. So what?
That part. But again, I'm leaving it alone because I know some folks will be like,
she may have run out of bugs because by that time it's been a couple years.
You get 10 years of youth though is the thing.
And let's not forget, Bulma was using the Dragon Balls as her own little cosmetic store. It's like, let me just take 10 years off this, uplift this. I was like, if I was Shenron, I'd be like, this is what you use me for? but I digress. But yeah.
What was the ending about? I thought we were going to get like a teaser, and it's just like, by the way, you can buy the eye that caused you all the trouble is on sale right now for 15 some.
Oh no, that was the gag. Is that item so powerful just turns out to be like in the back of a grocery store item.
Yeah, that was the wild part.
No, that's classic Toriyama.
Something that destructive can be found in your local convenience store in the Demon World and the Demon Realm. Still funny.
Like, on it.
That's still funny. But no, let us know what you guys think in the comments about Dragon Ball Daima, and of course our thoughts on Super, because that is the last little bit of Mr. Toriyama's legacy. So we will definitely see what they do with that. The other thing we got before we get to our comic book pools, guys, is Invincible. Its latest episode has been out. A little rough with the introduction of Powerplex and his obsession with getting justice against Mark and his father, even to the point to where this man literally put high capacity diodes in his body to where his wife was hitting him with a sledgehammer to make him be able to withstand punches from Invincible. Long story short, Powerplex does eventually find Invincible and uses his own family, and I should have said trigger warning before I started this, Powerplex uses his own family to draw Mark out, and intended to fry Mark, he barbecued his own family to where it enraged him to the point to where he was going to just basically crash out. Mark was able to stop him, although Mark the whole time was trying to save him. But I think Mark understood a little bit of what Cecil was trying to get to him at the end of the episode. But Tafara, what did you think of the latest episode of Invincible?
I know a lot of people weren't fans of it because they just want to get straight to the Invincible War and Conquest and all this other stuff. But
yeah,
it's a humbling episode. I think we've needed for a while because this entire season has been in obsession with like the prison industrial complex.
Pretty much.
But especially because like he really couldn't do anything to Mark if he wanted to after multiple attempts. But he just kept escaping so that he would have to go and keep dealing with him. And it just became kind of repetitive. But yeah, the end result with his family ending up like that was the saddest part. And I kind of felt it coming.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Rex. Good Lord, death flags everywhere. This is good. Your life is between him and Shrinking Ray, because she's not supposed to be around. Like, one of you is not. Life is going too calmly for both of you right now. And then whatever the hell Rudy's up to, that it's also sketch as hell.
Yeah, it makes me think that the beginning of the end is coming. It's like with this Invincible War coming up, it does make you wonder exactly who's going to be around, because this is also written by, keep people forgetting, Robert Kirkman was writing Invincible, so he also wrote The Walking Dead. Please do not assume everybody is going to live. I'm just saying. But this was a nice episode because we left Alan and Omni-Man back on the ship where Battle Beast is still currently fighting, so hopefully we'll get back to that. At the same time, like Tafari said, the Invincible War coming up, along with that scene, which I hope to God they don't do. But
I forgot, doesn't that happen like a lot later than this? Like, isn't he with him and Eve are like engaged or married or about to have a kid?
Right along with the Conquest War. So right along it happens. Yeah, it happens in Conquest.
I was gonna say it's like weird. I don't know. When I try to like read up on the comics, it's such a headache because it's like it seems all over the place.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm curious to how much time is about to get covered in these last two episodes.
That too, but also I'm not gonna lie, it freaks me out to think exactly what they may do. But we will find out because this season 3 is not too far off from wrapping up. But yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. So not a lot this week, guys, because again, slow week. We're going into March. Outside of March Madness and a lot of us having birthdays and whatnot. Hopefully other stuff comes up. We do know BlurredCon is definitely happening next week, Tafari, if I'm right.
Yep. So get in early next Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it shall be a time.
Yeah. So if you are in the area for BlurredCon, definitely check it out. But for the rest of us who can't, so that we'll shed tears on, hey, have some fun for us. But before we get to our comic book pool, guys, we always do want to show love to Rick's Comic City, Nashville's #1 place for comic books, for Funko Pops, for collectibles, you name it, they got it. 2 locations, Nashville, Tennessee, Clarksville, Tennessee, and their website at rickscomiccity.com. Let them know the guys at GetBit sent you. It doesn't get you any discounts, but you see us on their television, so they show us love. We want to show love to them back. Also, guys, I know, not to be political, today was an economic blackout. That being said, still support your local libraries. Support your independent bookstores. Please, oh please, avoid the national chains if you can. But you do have mom and pop bookstores. You do have mom and pop comic book stores. You have your libraries to where everything is kept up to date, even video games. Libraries carry video games. People don't believe me until they go to the library and actually see it. But keep going to these places, guys, because again, not to get political, we are trying to be a positive change. And sometimes the only way you can be a positive change is to hit somebody's paychecks and pocketbooks. So again, guys, support your local comic book stores, support your independent bookstores, support your local libraries. take a chance to go to Rick's Comic City if you are in the Nashville or Clarksville area. You will miss them when they are gone. But that being said, let me know when you're ready, Joe, with the comic book pulls. But yeah, outside of that, as we're waiting for that, so I know Tafari, you said you're going to be at BlurCon. Are they still doing the advertisements for BlurCon?
I think we just talked about archiving those today since we were in the last week, and we're still trying to get stuff from the people that actually paid for it, which is like 5 people. I know Lainey's working on her stuff right now, and I think we're waiting on one other company. And then it's just a matter of getting that stuff in. We're just going to archive it for now. We'll probably bring it back for whatever the next event is rather than just throw it away. So, yeah, I think we paused on purchases, just await the final production, waiting to get stuff so we can make thank you posts and banners and all that good doodad stuff.
Gotcha. Because I was about to bring up the tier system, but hey, since that's sunset, next time, guys, definitely join us here at Blur Station. But Joe, I do see that you have your stuff up, sir. So whenever you're ready. Oh, Joe, you're muted.
Of course I am.
Yep, you're good now.
We got Absolute Wonder Woman number 5. This finishes out the first arc of Absolute Wonder Woman. It's been written by Kelly Thompson, art by Hayden Sherman, colors by Jordi Belair. Diana finds a way to defeat the giant chaos creature through magic and transformation. And Steve is there to help her get back to normal. And then other things happen. I'm keeping this one vague only because this is a finale and I don't want to spoil that.
Fair enough. Definitely was a good issue itself. A little bit of humor. Again, can't go into it because it spoils the story. But yeah, I liked it. It was a nice little finale. Finale for now.
She will be back because this is just the end of the first arc. Next up, we got Green Lantern number 20, where their power to this is kind of kicking off the new storyline. Hal is dealing with someone who's having a really bad day on a planet to the point where they become a Red Lantern. Meanwhile, the main story is now kicked over to Kyle, thank God, along with Connor Kent Superboy and Odyssey, who is the intergalactic thief that they released. They are going and raiding the tomb of a Source Wall god for item of power when they are interrupted by Starbreaker and the Sorrows. So we get to see how Kyle and Connor deal with that next issue. I loved it, but of course, I'm going to be biased since I'm a Kyle fan. The Hal Jordan stuff, pretty okay. Feel really bad for the Red Lantern dude because it was one of those make a Joker kind of bad days this dude was having, except instead of insanity, rage, that channels a Red Lantern.
Interesting. I'll have to go back and read that episode.
Also, I love the entire time they are raiding. Kyle's team is raiding the tomb. Kyle has the Indiana Jones fedora and bullwhip on him at all times as constructs.
Nice.
And Connor just looks like, my God, you're a nerd.
Hey, it is never nerdy to not rock a fedora, but that's just me. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I really liked it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and read that one because that sounded pretty.
Starbreaker and the Sorrow versus Kyle and Superboy.
So they are calling him the Sorrow. Okay, that makes sense.
This is written by Jeremy Adams, art by Jack Herbert, colors by Romulo Fernando Jr. Definitely pick up Green Lantern now. It's been consistently good, and they're getting ready to separate out between Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps very shortly in March. So we will be checking on that.
Nice. Okay.
Jumping over into Marvel, we were picking up for where we were last time with the X-Men, where Scott's dad's come back and immediately aliens kidnap Scott, so Alpha Flight has to assist the X-Men this issue. Honestly, it's a pretty fun issue.
Oh, yeah, it is definitely funny, especially the fact of Puck wanting to say a few choice words. I was like, yep, that's about right.
That's about right. Written by Jed McKay, pencils by Netho Diaz, inkers by Sean Parsons and Livesay, and cars by First Cifuentes Sojo. Just a side note, we are losing 3 X books. We are losing NYX. Ms. Marvel will be spun out into Giant Size, the team on Giant Size X-Men. X Factor and X Force are all being canceled soon. They're wrapping up within the next issue.
Okay.
Which is kind of fine. I can see, like, I didn't want to read X Factor or X Force after they killed Surge, and the only reason I was reading it because my other 2 favorites, Betsy and Rachel, were in it because I love Excalibur, but this is not Excalibur. X Factor rubbed a lot of people the wrong way because it tried to be X Factor and also Ecstatics at the same time, and no one really asked for that. I like Alex, I like Havoc, and I like Lorna. I like old school X Factor.
Yeah.
This was not old school X Factor. This was Ecstatics wearing an X Factor jersey or coat to try to hide itself. NYX is actually the biggest hit for me because that was an enjoyable book for me. But yeah, we're losing 3 X books pretty quickly, but that happened too. That happened in the original one too. They fell off and we made new teams out of different books.
Yeah.
Moving on over. Number 68, where it had nothing to do with Spider-Man at all.
I knew you were gonna say that. I knew it. This might as well been called The Amazing Juggernaut. No. It should have been called I'm the Juggernaut Bitch. That's what it should have been called.
The thing that gets me about this arc is that all the promotional material was it's going to be Joe Kelly and various artists. Joe Kelly has barely been on this book.
Fair.
All this ties into One World United Under Doom.
It's still funny.
Yeah, like Spider-Man has almost nothing to do with this because he's already been killed in the last book from his neck being snapped. Which I'm sure he'll get better. It's okay. He'll be fine.
But what's crazy is his neck is snapped. He's already. I'm sorry. I'm spoiling the book. Never mind. Sorry. I'm spoiling the book. Nope. Go ahead, Joe.
It's a big Juggernaut book and about his relationship with Sidorak.
Yeah, but I didn't. I was going to go into what happened in the previous book. That's why I was like, let me shut up.
Yeah. I do say I love the fact that Juggernaut has learned over the years that when they remove his helmet, he has another helmet underneath.
Hey, prep work.
I mean, yeah.
Although he sat there and told off his god, that was the funny part.
And they actually chronicle that Sidorak was mildly entertained enough to restore his powers.
After he didn't get cussed out by his one avatar, he's like, hey, either help me or get off your big red ass and do it yourself. Damn. Oh, I love that part.
Meanwhile, on the infinitely better Ultimate Spider-Man, written by Jonathan Hickman, art by Martichetto, and colors by Matt Wilson. Peter and Harry are still in the Savage Land being hunted by Kraven, although now Mole Man is helping them because Kraven start to endanger the inhabitants of the Savage Land. Meanwhile, Richard meets the new Black Cat, Felicia Hardy, and they start talking and realizing, oh, we have stuff in common. Peter does get back and tells Mary Jane, like, we need to leave. They know everything. We're not safe.
Although I do love the fact that Felicia and Richard just had a moment like you're what are you 15, 16,
and a half.
15? So you're 15,
17 and a half.
I just love how Venom was the voice of reason. Like, she just told you everything about her. Who's your dad? Venom's like,
No.
Venom was like boundaries a little bit. Although I do give it the way they're doing Kraven in this. This Kraven in this story would have been a lot better than the Kraven in the movie. I'll be honest with you. I know no shade to Mr. Johnson, but this Kraven in this issue matches up to what he actually is.
Yeah.
But that's just me. But I love this issue. Love the fact that Spider-Man just realizes Spidey sense, but not realizing his Spidey sense. That was interesting.
Moving on over, we're looking at Radiant Black. This is written by Kyle Higgins and Joe Clark, art by Eduardo Frigato, colors by Rod Fernandez. This starts the new chapter for Radiant Black. We are picking up from the Cataclysm War. Marshall's just trying to live his life as a superhero and as a single dude. He just tries to go through the motions.
Although I love the fact that now there's a different. And again, if you actually didn't read the Radiant War, highly recommend that you do, because there's a lot of background story before you get to this, because this goes to a whole nother arc. So definitely, if you have not read the war, I forgot what they called it. Help me out. Thank you. If you have not read that, I highly recommend that you do, just because it will clear up a lot of stuff. Otherwise, this story already, I'm liking it, just because it's a different art. But then again, ever since Joe introduced me to Radiant Black, I've never had any complaints about the series. But no, it's good. I definitely would recommend anybody to read it.
Okay. G.I. Joe number 4. This is written by Joshua Williamson, art by Tom Riley, and colors by Jordi Belair.
Somebody gotta have a talk.
Captured by Cobra because they fought Tomax and Zaymont and lost. And now they're prisoners, and the plot is moving forward.
All I gotta say is somebody need to talk to Duke.
This is still in the whole Transformers crossover world?
Yeah, it's still the Energon universe, yeah.
Okay.
But I'm just like, the whole thing, and we got them where we want them. I'm like, you surrendered because of you didn't want human casualties. Okay, cool. You then got brought to the Mars Foundation, to where now everybody's like, what's the plan here? Because we went from fighting them to now on our own, and you have Duke the whole time saying we got them right where we want them. Where everybody is looking at him side-eyed like, they got us at gunpoint, outgunned, outmanned, and Cobra Commander is literally about to monologue. Sir, you're going to have to explain this one. But no, it's building up to the next issue, I know, but it's a little hard to fathom, Duke, where you're going with this.
Just some smidge.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're running out tonight with Power Rangers Prime number 4. This is written by Melissa Flores, art by Michelle Ying, and colors by Fabian Marquise. Lauren is given her abilities to morph. The rest of the team has to decide what they're going to do with their lives, because they are also caught up in a security breach involving the Eltarans. Meanwhile, Laura is fighting the VR troopers, and the rest of the Rangers are given their powers and figuring out if they're going to follow Rita or not. Also, Bulk is there.
Interesting. Still trying my hardest with this one.
This has actually been pretty cool, because like the VR troopers are now scheduled to get their own book,
which I'm happy for. Don't get me wrong. I think that they actually should get a shot at their own series. It's not pulling me the way I thought it would, but then again, it just might take a little bit longer for me to kind of go along with it. But Still not put. I mean, it's not to the point to where I'm like, okay, it's not for me. It's just kind of waiting for my gotcha moment, if that makes sense. But still would highly recommend because, again, Power Rangers series don't get as much love as they should. So highly would recommend anybody out there, if you're on the fence about it, at least give it a good 3 issues before you make up your mind.
Plus, this is a different kind of Power Rangers. This is like in a world where it's a crime to be a Ranger. But if you're a trooper, you're on the right side of the law.
Which is still weird.
I want to know how they're going to play the Big Bad Beetleborgs in this.
You know it's coming.
No, honest to God, I really do want to see what they do. If they can find some way to incorporate the Beetleborgs, because, like, you're incorporating the VR Troopers really well in this.
Right.
Because they're like glorified shock troops that the government is sponsoring.
I would be interested myself, but we'll see. If they do Beetleborgs, I'm just curious how it's just gonna be interesting. I'll just leave it at that.
Maybe it's the Riot Squad.
Damn.
Maybe.
I mean, not wrong. You wouldn't be wrong.
They keep saying the VR Troopers can't do it, bring in the Beetleborgs. Make them kind of like peacemakers.
Maybe they'll put him in his, they'll be put in his DLC and Rita's Rewind.
It could be. You know what? That would. You know what? Now that I think about it, Tafari, that possibly could happen if it works out that way.
Because didn't they add hold on, Mutant Mayhem? They added one of the Battletoads, I think.
Yeah. I want to say Rash got added.
Let me see. Who do they add in here? Wait, no, I'm not Mutant Mayhem. Shredder's Revenge.
They've only ever officially crossed over with Masked Rider in the show.
Yeah.
Because the Beetleborg was just the Shadow Borg and the Green Beetleborg as a costume, as a mutant general from the Machine Empire during the Wild Force era.
Okay,
that wasn't really them.
It was Mona Lisa and Mondo Gecko that went.
That's girlfriend of Mondo Gecko.
Yeah. But either way, I could see that. But yeah, thank you, Joe, for the comic book pulls, as usual. So as we wrap up, guys, let you know that we do thank you for liking, for watching, for letting people know this is live, for sharing, because none of this cannot be done without your support. We thank you very much. That being said, Tafari, I know next week you're going to be at BlurCon, sir, but still want to let people know what you're doing.
Yeah, I have a lot more free time next few days. Gonna try to get through Sly Cooper 3. I also played the Stanley Parable the other day. What even is that? It's Severance the video game from what I've been told, and whoever's the narrator, I think you deserve an award for how much of a smartass you are. Yeah, trying to get through Sly 3. Couple videos dropping the next few days. Second to last episode of the Convention Survival Guide is tomorrow. Dragon Ball tribute that I put away a year ago drops tomorrow. Because I did one a year ago, and you guys sent me so much stuff afterwards, I felt the need to put it on a different one. Another video dropping on Sunday. I'm trying to think what other stuff I got going on. Yeah, and then BlurCon next weekend. We just announced some of the people from the upcoming Ianu cartoon will be there. Janelle Monáe will be there promoting a project. I believe they just announced a Nollywood actor that's also going to be in the building.
Nice.
Hellspawn and the crew are premiering these new Predator cosplays they've been working on all year. So,
see if Toonrific Tariq is going to be there.
Who is it?
Who?
Toonrific Tariq.
They've been announcing stuff all day, so that I probably just missed that. Let me see if I know that name. But yeah, they've been, because we're a week out, so they've been dropping all the oh yeah, and then one of the people from Reed Shannon from Arcane just got announced too.
Nice. All right. So thank you for that, sir. Joe, I know you're nicely moved and settled in, but want to let people know what you're doing, sir?
Oh, the game dropped, right?
Yes.
That's where he's going to be after this. Monster Wilds and giving his impression next week. But
that's true. I'll be in bed after this.
Well, that up to you, sir. But let me know what you're doing.
No, that's pretty much all I'm going to be doing is just streaming Monster Hunter constantly.
What is the contraption behind?
I mean, if I'm not at work and I'm not asleep, it'll be streaming Monster Hunter.
That's
like, I told my community we will go back to giant stompy robots eventually, but right now it's just going to be me running around with a gun lance shooting everything and stabbing.
That's her ghost pack.
Shooting things.
Hey Joe, that's her ghost pack in the corner behind you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought that was.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I'm like, I can't tell if it's all one piece or if I'm looking at like multiple things aligned correctly.
See if I can point over there.
Yeah, that.
This thing is a full 1-1 scale of the Extreme Ghostbusters. That is the axe from Kamen Rider O's. That is a microphone screech. The Valen Buster over here. That's the Train Megazord. And over here is more Sentai stuff because I got the Sentai table moved up. But generally, it is 99. It is like 90% proton back there.
Okay. Oh, cool.
It's 50 pounds of MDF and PVC. My back hurts.
That's a hard workout. But thank you for that, Joe. Before I do get to myself, guys, I do want to do shameless plugging as usual. Definitely want to shout out APR TV, alwayspressrecord.com. Why? Because the Give It podcast shows on their network. You can definitely check them out through their app on APR TV or on alwayspressrecord.com. Also, check out blurstation.com. I know we've been talking about it, guys. As far as said, the tier system has now been sunset. So for all those that have actually purchased tier space, we thank you. However, Blur Station also has has original programming, movies, television shows, things of that nature. And at $10.99 a month, if you want to, guys, please go to blurstation.com, hit the join now button, select the Blur's Eye View Affinity membership. Anybody there you can select. It'll be $10.99 a month to view Blur Station. After 36 months, you do have the ability to own a piece of Blur Station, and it does not get any simpler than that. Much like Always Press Record, guys, these are the tables that need our support, our patronage, and most importantly, our dollars. Not Tubi. Tubi's well worth over $100 million, but Tubi is also owned by the same guy that owns Fox. And right now, he is happy about our content because our content makes him rich. We should be able to do the same thing for ourselves. So definitely check out blurstation.com, check out Always Press Record, because again, these are the tables that we ask for to where your items can be seen. Now, as for myself, guys, please follow the Get Bit podcast. As the name says right there, please follow the Get Bit podcast on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. It'll have its own name very simply. Of course, myself, Black_Spartan615, also on the social where you can find me as well. Talked about everything, guys. Just, again, don't make it weird. I don't want to block people. I don't have to go through the whole thing route. I don't think I'm not that famous yet, but be nice, be kind, don't be weird. Outside of that, I will hopefully be joining everybody else very soon as I hope to get my capture card and video set up because I do want to re-enter the fighting games, competitions and shooters and things of that nature. Now that I have a little bit more time, now that the kiddos are getting a little bit older. So hopefully when all that gets set up, I will give more information as that comes along. But yes, we are still in the middle of an economic blackout. So please, guys, shop small, shop independent for now if you can. I understand situations. I understand, if you got kids, make sure they get fed. Completely get it. But shop small because right now the independent scene is where we need to be at. These national chain stores, things of that nature, they can take a day. Just being honest with you. Outside of that, guys, I do have the simple rules I have for myself because, like I said, BlurCon coming up, which means con season is kicking back in high gear again. 3 simple rules. Respect the cosplayer at all times. Please wash your ass, guys. I cannot tell you enough that we are still in the middle of a flu and cold season, and now measles. So again, wash your ass. Again, please take care of yourselves. Clean clothes, clean hair. Help us get the germ count down because I have kids. My kids are walking petri dishes, which means if they get sick, I get sick. So do us all a favor. Be clean. And the last rule that I have for myself is I have for everybody else, guys. In a world right now, and I mean a world that is completely cold, be nice, be kind, talk and share your fandoms. Don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. But as we wrap this up, guys, for us to call it a wonderful evening here, again, the last things I'll say, guys, is please check on your loved ones. Do something for yourself for peace. Do something that makes you happy and smile. At the same time, band together. Go out, touch grass, whatever you want to do. But do it nicely and do it kindly. And again, share your fandoms. Fellas, anything left to say before we call it a night?
Car payment free. It's fantastic.
Congratulations, sir. I know how that feels. I know how that feels when that last payment go through. You can't wait to say. Anyway, congratulations, Tafara. Joe, any last words?
It's like, hey, I want to get rid of my debt, and they're just like, hold up, we need to talk about this first. I was like, why? If there's a fee for me to call you, just take the money and leave me alone.
I'm like, you got what you wanted. I got what I wanted. Now we must depart. Joe, any last words for the night, sir?
I get to cook tomorrow because I finally have pots and pans.
It's the little
and
thing.
That is a beautiful thing. He's been Tafari. I've been Will. That's been Joe. That's been the Give It Podcast for the night, guys. We will see you all later. Take care of yourselves and each other. I promise we'll get through this. Peace.